Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 336. Larry here, and again, absent this week is Anthony. But that's okay because you have an Anthony kind of a different variety.
I'm like the one you order off Wish, I guess. I'm like the replacement for 2 weeks, and then you forget about me. So
Wish.
yeah, I'm
I
I'm, I'm
like
the one off Wish.
you're better than Wish. You're like Poshmark.
Oh, maybe I'll be Amazon one day, but for now, I'm still Wish.
Getting
So
there.
so yeah.
Lovable Halo Addict, but I like to call him Anthony. Sir, welcome to the Retro Gamers Podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I really
Oh
am.
yeah. This is gonna be awesome. This is first time, well, not the first time actually. First time you're like the feature, but
Mhm.
you've been on here a couple of times before.
I have.
And also first time everyone gets to see you as well, because we're doing it on YouTube.
I know. I have a face. I'm shocked. Oh my God.
Trust me,
Yeah.
everyone will enjoy your face more than mine. No,
I don't
but
know about
Anthony,
that.
we got really cool stuff to talk about this week, myself and Anthony. But first and foremost, as always, please take this opportunity, let the world know what you have going on, plug away your social medias, and then we'll kind of get right into everything.
All right. So for those people who don't know, my name is Local Halo Addiction. I've had that account for probably 4 years on Instagram, and I started on Twitch maybe 2 years ago. So if you don't know, if you ever see my profile picture, it's just me wearing this helmet. And by the way, I wear this in public, so
He does. I've
you
seen it. I've
you
taken
wonder.
pictures of him in it.
Yes, you have. Remember when we went to the Eternal Con like two
Yep,
weeks ago, and you did
absolutely.
the? It was funny. This is a fun, quick story I'll talk about. So basically, Larry goes to the second floor to take like a photo of me wearing the helmet because you can't see in that thing. So I'm basically kind of like blind wearing this helmet, and it's like like a Where's Waldo moment, which was pretty hilarious. And then but in the photo, I just look so awkward. I mean, sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I look so awkward though because it's just like I don't know what to do. So I'm just standing here
We
like
really
here.
had. I had this, and I had this
Yeah,
idea too, because I'm like, stand here with. I didn't realize you can't see. First of all,
you
out of the
can't.
helmet,
You cannot.
that
It's
actually makes it way more
because I've
funnier.
jumped in the pool and it even went in the beach water with it. So that visor you could once see through it. Now you can't. You're basically a
Oh,
blind man in that thing. You're
so I
basically
had
Stevie
this.
Wonder. So yeah.
So I had this idea. I'm like, you know what, Aunt, stay down here. Let me run upstairs to the second floor, and yeah, we'll do kind of like a Where's Waldo. And I got it. Look, I'm nowhere near a photographer, but I got to admit, those pictures came out awesome. And
They were.
the fact that, yes, we couldn't communicate, it's not like we had like walkie talkies. So
Yeah.
pretty much you just did things. And
I'm just like I was like I felt like a Charlie Chaplin moment where I'm just like, what do I do? I'm at this random booth where this guy's promoting his selling his pictures. I'm just
yep.
standing there looking at him, and I think the vendor was probably looking at me like, what the hell's the matter with this kid?
But now knowing that you
Yeah.
couldn't see through it
Yeah.
makes it even funnier. And I probably would have went longer before telling you to cut it.
Yeah. I would have bumped into an old lady if you kept it up. I'm just saying.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So you do your Twitch, and I've
Mhm.
definitely seen you on there. Well, first of all, like what are like where can they find you on social media? What are your multiple usernames?
I know I got too many, but basically, Lovable Halo Addiction. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even on Twitter, but it has a different name. It's Lovable, it's Lovable Halo Addict somehow mixed in with Twitter because it's
Yeah, it's
the whole
weird. Yeah,
the
same
whole
thing with
drama with
us.
Twitter. I'm not really on that much with Twitter, but also I do have a YouTube channel, and I do plan on making content with that YouTube channel eventually down the line. It just comes down to me getting a better setup. As you can see, I'm a little shiny right now. I really want to look like Larry over here, but I look like I'm in the dark. I'm not trying to go for this look. I'm really not trying to. But just to let everyone here know, I also have so for my other Instagrams, I'll only talk about two of them. I have Lovable Halo Addict Photography, which is basically just same thing. It's just my Halo action figure photography. And I've got some very interesting stories I plan on talking about later in this podcast. But
Okay,
there's that. And then also I started recently actually uh autograph collectible
that one
Instagram.
I like.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
all about the autographs I've obtained and just anything involving because I love horror. I love classic horror, as you can see with my phone case.
yes.
I got this custom made. I actually just got this yesterday, no joke.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, the
Creature of
Creature
the
being,
Black Lagoon.
yeah, one of my favorite movies. It's got a tattoo of it too. You can see it on
Yes, you
my
do.
Instagram. Oh, believe me, 3 hours of pure pain. I try not to cry. I'll tell you this cute story or quick story real quick. So basically, this is my first tattoo ever. I'm 30 years old. It's been I've never had a tattoo before in my life, and this guy, the tattoo I got was, the creature from the Black Lagoon reaching up at the girl. And actually, funny thing enough, you can actually see it. I know you probably can't see it that well. It's actually my wallpaper as we speak.
Mhm.
The inspired shot. So
Very iconic
yes,
shot
very
of the
iconic.
creature.
I know it's a little bright. I'm sorry. I thought
A little
maybe this
tough
would
to see.
work.
We can send me a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
here it is. There you
put
go.
it
A
in
little bit
post. There
better.
we go. Even
A
better.
little bit better. So basically, the creature's kind of reaching up for the girl, but
Mhm.
basically, I made it so she's swimming, kind of like the Jaws cover. But basically, there's this really attractive tattoo artist, and she's, doing some, tattooing another guy, and I'm just like right there next to her, trying to strike up a conversation. But I'm also not trying to
Hey,
cry
baby.
as well. I'm just like, and the worst thing is, I'm just like trying to keep calm. Just like, let me keep my head, occupied. I'm on my phone the whole time. She thought I was like very religious and very humble. She's like, "Are you religious by any chance?" I'm like, "No, not that
Weird.
religious. I have a little bit, but not like over the top." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, because I haven't seen you show like any emotion this whole 3 hours." I'm like, "Oh, believe me, I'm crying on the inside." It's pretty rough. So yeah,
There
but
you go. And
that's
I've seen that
yeah,
tattoo. It's awesome. And I was really, when you told me you were getting that tattoo, I'm not gonna lie. I told you, I'm like, I was a little trepidatious. I'm like, I don't know, but that came out amazing. So
I'm glad because I
yeah,
was like, imagine this thing was on my leg forever and I didn't like it. I would just probably just amputate my leg.
that's
Sorry
why
to
I
say,
that's
just
why I still
chop
don't
it
have
off with an
none.
axe.
My father's got a ton of them. I got none of them.
Oh God,
So
I want to cover myself up, but like I said, my Instagram is I want it autograph. It's I underscore want it underscore autograph. So it's kind of like the Queen song, I want it all, but with autograph and
oh, there you
show
go.
the
I never
picture.
thought of it
I
that
thought
way.
that was clever. I was in the
Yeah,
shower, I'm
no, that's awesome.
like this is a clever name for an Instagram, and boom, here we are today.
There
So
you go. We'll have all the
I like
links,
it.
of course, in the descriptions.
That's why I like the
So,
Instagram.
I mean, me and Aunt met years ago. Actually, good friends with your father. Worked together, and then as our um eventually, something like me and your dad and some other people from work used to always go to the conventions, like
Yep,
Chiller Theater and stuff. And then eventually,
I
I
love
don't know
chili.
if you came all the time in the beginning, but then eventually you started,
I came later on because
yeah,
I just had no, I really didn't know the concept of chiller because like my
yeah.
dad would
And
be
you were
like,
a
"Oh,
kid who wants to hang out with
yeah,
adults.
exactly."
I don't
But it was
blame you.
like, and it's funny. You know what I was doing while you guys went to Chiller? I was probably playing Halo 3. That was like back when
Probably.
Halo 3 was at its prime. That's why I probably, because I look back at it now and I kick myself because I remember my dad telling me like, "Oh, we're gonna go meet Ernest Borgnine." I'm like, the guy played Mermaid Man. And this is before I started collecting autographs. So it's
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, I want to. I mean, this was like too late. You got taken everything. I'm like, I want to meet him, but I went back to playing Halo. But like, I look back at it now, like he died like the next year. Like Mermaid Man from
But
SpongeBob. No, he was like my childhood icon. So I was like
exactly.
kicking myself. I'm like, I need to start going to these conventions because they're amazing. So yeah,
They are, and we've
go there.
definitely have some that's a whole episode unto itself with that. But what I learned about you is your passion, and when you zoom in on something, your passion is above all else, and just the want and need when you go out and searching for, whether it's the autographs or like the monster, the universal monsters, like the classic stuff like that. But what we're going to talk about this week, because I know if Anthony's listening, his head's going to explode because we haven't talked about games yet,
Yeah,
is your huge passion. You've already mentioned it, you've already showed it off for Halo.
it's in my
And
name right there, right there.
exactly,
There you
lovable
go.
Halo addict.
Yeah.
And we've never really deep dove into an Xbox episode, so I think this is going to be perfect to start with. Now, I hate to say this, but you being vastly younger than me, what was your first Halo? Like when did you start with that series?
Well, Halo CE Combat Evolved came out 2001. I didn't get into that. I remember my friend's dad was playing that when I was probably like in what, like maybe sixth grade at the time when he was playing it. I was just remember
Oh, I
vaguely.
was a senior in college, so
There you
thank you.
go. But I just remember him playing it. But then, like the following year, that's when I actually got into it. I got into Halo 2. And the only reason I got into Halo 2 is because my buddies were all playing it already. And what's funny is what we did, this is actually a little illegal, what people did
Oh
back
boy.
then. Well, I didn't do this. I swear to God. But
Right.
but basically, we went to Blockbuster and
Yeah.
rented Halo 2
Mhm.
and played the hell out of it over the
Yep.
weekend. I was hooked on it. Just we would just play, random custom, just random matches, just a split screen. That's how it was back then. I didn't even have Xbox Live back then. So you didn't even need Xbox Live back then when you played Halo 2 because
Yep.
Halo 2 was such a revolutionary game for multiplayer. It was very different, it was very revolutionary.
Mhm.
And we just played all my buddies. We just played nonstop, stay up to like 3 in the morning. It would be like our sleepover would just be playing Halo 2 for the weekend. It was, a great memory I look back on. And then eventually I got my Xbox, got 360, and that's when I got Halo 3, and that's when, this my whole life changed forever for in the world of gaming at Halo. So
So
that
you
was like probably my first memory.
so you really kicked in with Halo 3, which is
Yeah.
wild. That was like around like that dropped in
Yeah.
2007. I remember I played Halo.
Mhm.
And for me, like you say, staying up all night playing all these games in
Yeah.
college, I was doing that with GoldenEye,
Oh, there you go.
007 on the N64, and definitely doing that. There was no, obviously no internet, barely. The N64 wasn't hooking up to
Did
LAN
you
or
like your
anything.
drinks shaken, not stirred by any chance?
I do, and we
There
had
you
a
go.
rule. We had a rule. It was prison rules. So if you're walking around without a gun, too bad. We're able to shoot you.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, and we very rarely played Golden Gun because those levels never lasted long.
Oh, believe me, I played a little bit of GoldenEye on the N64. I still have it
Mhm.
actually to this day. But actually, I want to tell you real quick about that illegal thing because I forgot to say it.
Yeah.
But basically, what people used to do, at least my friend group did, is say you had a scratched up disc, you go to Blockbuster, you switch the discs, and they
Oh,
never they never looked into it.
what are you kidding me? We just a few, I guess it was maybe about a month or so ago. We talked about the story where Anthony switched out an entire game system.
What?
Oh, totally. Yeah, and that's not like him. Yeah, it was a
That's
Sega CD, and his
how did
wasn't
how do
working.
you, how do you let that pull? How do you get that like away with? Did he get away with it?
Yeah, because I remember I was in the car waiting for him, and I remember
Yeah.
him coming out. It was the I don't know if you grew up on Long Island, or I don't know if they had the Wiz out here. I think that was only in Brooklyn. And he went into the Wiz. He'd bought a Sega CD, came out, swapped it for his broken one, put it back in the box, put it in, returned it, and then very quickly walked
When was
out.
this?
Oh, this was, oh God, back in the 90s.
Oh, I
So
thought this was like recently. Like
no,
this
no,
happened
no,
2 weeks
no, no.
ago.
This is way back. No, no, we talked about it
Yeah.
recently, but this
What's
happened.
what's gonna happen now? They're gonna use this podcast and like the court of law. They're gonna show because we're basically just throwing your buddy under the bus right now. They're
You know
gonna use
what?
this in the court of law. So if you're watching this, lawyers and judge,
That
how
means
you
people are listening.
yeah,
So
what you
I'm
doing
cool.
later?
Yeah. Yeah, so like like I played Xbox. Well, I was kind of late to the Xbox scene, but I definitely when I got it, it was already, Halo was like almost like a packing game at that point. I'm pretty much sure though I bought Halo when it went platinum,
Yeah,
when they went like discounted. But
yeah.
I remember in college people playing Halo 2, like you said, Halo 2 kind of was
Religiously.
almost definitive. And not only that, but that's where I started watching the LAN parties.
Ooh,
Even more with the Xbox than as much with computers, which is really weird. Um, and watching, everyone bring their Xboxes over, bring their monitors or their giant televisions over,
your
in the
Xboxes, your
dorms.
TVs, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
basically just set
People
up in
do
the
it to this
lobby.
day. Actually, it's
Oh,
crazy.
totally,
It's
totally.
it's nuts.
And not only that, I also remember there was, so back in the day before HD channels and everything like that, on the cable networks when HD started coming out, like they had like these special channels for HD, and one of them was a gaming channel. And what they always showed was Halo 2 competitions. And that was also my first foray into almost esports before it was esports,
Yeah.
and I watched religiously these Halo 2 tournaments. It was wicked. Don't get me wrong.
It's really what's kickstarted it all. I mean, I know they were doing it
Oh,
before then,
totally.
but like I remember, at least for me, I could be wrong at this, but I remember Halo 2 was like the first thing involving a no scope with a sniper rifle. That's just I don't know if that's factually right, but for me, I
Mhm.
just remember watching with my cousin on YouTube back in the day, just esport, just anything involving competitions on YouTube. I remember the big revolutionary thing this guy was doing was just shooting them in the face without actually scoping in. I guess people weren't really
It
doing
was
it that much,
wild.
but
Yeah.
he made it. I guess he made it popular. That's what it was. So after
Mhm.
he did the no scope in Halo 2, people were like, "Yo, that's amazing!" And they all started, get going on the bandwagon of the no scopes. And to this day, how long it's been over, like since Halo 2 came out 2004, I still can't
Yeah.
do a good no scope to this day.
It's all
True
right. You'll
story.
get there. You'll get there.
Probably when I'm 80, but yeah, there you go.
I mean, to the point where like Halo 2 levels, correct me if I'm wrong, they kind of, even in the new Halo games, didn't they kind of re-release some of those levels from multiplayer?
Well, what they're doing right now is there's a thing called Master Chief Collection where
Yes.
you can play all the basically most of the Halo games instead of besides five. So basically, you're getting Halo 1 through 3, Reach, and
Hmm.
ODST. And right now, Infinite came out, like 2 years ago, and it's been, very mixed signals. I'm not going to get into too much of a rant right now about it, but basically, a lot of people went back on MCC because of their distaste for Infinite.
Hmm.
So what 343 Industries, the people who own Halo at the moment, they they're trying to, kind of please the Halo fan base because they're annoyed about Infinite. So what they're doing now is if you're on PC, you get to do a lot of cool things involving mods, and they're doing a lot of things called Curse Halo, where you get to like do a lot of modded stuff involving Halo campaign missions to custom games to everything. But what they're also doing is they're working with modders to like release unused content that we got to see like clips of. Like for example, recently, this is like really recent, but
Hmm.
Halo 2, there was like a promotional like footage, like kind of like a little beta footage that they were promoting Halo 2 before it dropped, and they
Okay.
showed like gameplay of the game. But whatever you saw, the footage you saw had this was never in the campaign. This never made it in. So modders are working with 343 to release that content, so you actually get
Gotcha.
to relive it. And then this was 2004. The fact that they're working on this unearthed footage, this footage just it hasn't seen the, hasn't really made it to the proper day. Sorry, I'm lost of words. It's just baffling. It's just crazy, just how dedicated Halo fans are, and it's just like there's a lot of like ups and downs when it comes to the Halo fan base because there's a lot of great people you can meet along the way in Halo, and there's a lot of bad people you can meet along the way in Halo. But it's just like I choose to pick, play with all the right people
There
that
you
just
go.
want to help you support your, people that help you support your dream is the only people you should be playing with, in my personal opinion,
I agree
because
with you on that.
like you have to help them out too. But like I said, people that support you, they're the best. They're the real people in life. They're the real people we should be having friendships with, and that's what I learned over like how many years I've been playing Halo. And what was cool about it is I've met a few great communities. I'm going to shout them out. Actually, there's a Smart War Games. They're a British community, Britain, UK, wherever you want to call it. And they're a great community. They had their own Discord, and also Flash Community, their own Discord and Instagram. They're amazing. A lot of people that play in those communities. We make a lot of great memories. I stream a lot of it actually on Twitch, so we do a lot of fun custom games, a lot of just any stupid stuff. We're just the whole time we're just having the time of our lives. It's something that we could just put our kind of enjoy. When
Hmm.
everything around us in the world is just so just bitter and disgusting.
Yeah,
So
yeah, life gets rough, and certainly social media doesn't make it any easy.
yeah,
But watching you with those communities reminds me as well, even going a little earlier with World of Warcraft and
oh,
watching communities with WoW. And and again, I've watched some of my friends who early Twitch, I mean early Twitch, were streaming World of Warcraft. I'd be sitting there, and there they are just talking to each other, complete strangers otherwise. But when they're in this game, you know what I mean? They're literally a team, obviously, trying to move forward in World of Warcraft, where you guys team up to kill people. But in the multiplayer games. And like, do you with Halo, do you how can I put it? Are you basically multiplayer, or have you like played through the campaigns in Halo?
well, I've basically done it all. Like I've
Okay.
done the campaigns, I've done the multiplayer,
All
done the
right. So you've
customs.
gone
I've
okay.
done I've done it all. Like at least for every
Gotcha.
game that ever came out, I try to get the full
Yeah.
Halo experience.
It's funny you were talking about the Master Chief Collection, which I do have. I didn't realize I forgot Halo 4 is part of that. So
They
that's
they
almost
added it a few years ago,
oh,
yes.
that's probably why when I first got it, I didn't have it. Yeah, because it's Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, like you said, Reach, and Halo 4 at this
Oh,
point.
there
And
is
then some
four,
other
yeah.
yeah, and then some other parts
It's like
too.
the problem is four is like there's a lot. Some people either you love the game or you hate the game. That's what it comes down to it for. We
I
call it like the redheaded stepchild is what it is.
I feel like usually anything after the third one
Yeah,
is always tough, whether it's a movie or a
but
series or a video game.
there's a lot of drama with Halo 2, not like from the community, but like from like the game itself, because basically Bungie ran Halo for Halo 1 to 3, ODST and Reach, and then basically ended on Reach. And then the 343 Industries picked it up, and that was when 4, 5, Halo Wars 2, well, at least
Mhm.
that was a different company, but still kind of came in that, and Infinite. And people just, I'm not trying to like hate on this company, but people just
You can hate.
despise
I've hated before.
they've despised 343 Industries, and I can understand why they hate them because of a lot of reasons. Just a lot of reasons. Just I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to be too
Mhm.
negative. I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but just a lot of people just hate them to death. And like I kind of agree and I disagree sometimes with what people stand on with
Mhm.
343 Industries. But for me, I always hope like for the future, they do seem to care about the fan base because they're, releasing all this modded content and trying to please people a little bit. I know they have a long way to go, but I'm very hopeful. I really am. I just hope they, notice me sometime. That'd be great. Just saying, there's more than 3 content creators on Halo, guys. I don't know if you're watching
There
this,
is.
but they seem to send love to like 3 people mostly.
That's how
I
it goes.
I ain't one of them.
That's like, don't worry, you're gonna get there. That's why you're here. We're gonna push you. And speaking of which, what you just did right
Exactly.
now, besides your love for Halo,
Yeah.
and for a person who's a third my size, for the better, your love for Mountain Dew, I
Oh,
absolutely find fascinating. And I never, not until seeing your, posts and your collections, how I forgot Halo kind of created, well, didn't create, but like made Mountain Dew like the beverage choice of like a gamer who's going to be putting in like 40 hours plus of
do you,
gaming.
do you want to see something cool?
Of course we do.
Okay, so let's just say Halo 3 came out with this thing called Halo 3 Game Fuel. And when it came out back then, I never actually got to drink it, and I was very sad. And all I'm saying is, for me, I think Halo 3 Game Fuel is like, it's how old would Halo 3, if you had a bottle of Halo 3 Game Fuel, how old would it be? It came out 2007, so that's like
Oh,
pushing
you're asking me
15
to do
years old,
math.
right?
Okay,
Like,
let's say
like
that.
it's like 15 years old, right?
Sure.
So let's just say I have the golden ticket. Here it is. This is my
Look at
golden ticket right here. It's dented
and
and it's
look at the
unopened.
so
Look, yes.
just real quick for those listening, it is a 2-liter bottle of
Yep.
Mountain Dew game fuel
Delicious.
sealed
Yes.
and it's imploding onto itself. Is it sealed, right? It wasn't open,
It's
right?
sealed. Has never been
Okay,
opened yet.
okay. So never been sealed. The fact that
Oh.
the fact that it is kind of slowly crushing itself is
hmm
concerning. But that's probably also because all the carbonation's probably already gone in it.
Yeah.
But that is pretty cool. Where'd you get that? Like on eBay or something?
I got that on eBay for $75. Don't tell me
That
money.
is oh no, that's a good rule because a lot of stuff I've talked about where I've bought and thrown stuff out. I hope my mother never listens to this episode,
As
never
you should.
listens to the show.
All I'm saying is I got some expired food and drinks, Halo related,
You
and
really
people make
do.
fun of me for it. But when a nuclear holocaust happens, if it's gonna be like that video game Fallout 4, we have to go underneath the bunker, I'm bringing all this expired stuff with me because I'll be the last left because I'll be having all the good, I'll be having like the
Yeah.
food that this food's gonna like somehow like I'm gonna say snap. This thing is like 15 years old and it looks like it's pretty good. So this is something that you want to
It
bring
does
with
look
you
like it
to the
holds up, which is
to the vault.
and after 15 years, you would think the color would have settled at
No,
the
not at
bottom
all.
of
People I've watched videos of people actually drinking
I've seen
that,
stuff like
but
that.
it's but
That
it's more like
just is disgusting.
but it's weird though because it wasn't like the liter they were drinking from. They were drinking from like the can because they had can versions of that
Yeah,
drink.
yeah.
And there's a video of the guy like pouring it out, and I guess the color must have lost its color
Yeah,
because it was
it's
see through. It was see through, but this one's like bright as red. It's really
it's
weird.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's what's
yeah.
concerning me. So but no, but and Mountain Dew has so many different. I mean, it's weird how Mountain Dew. Last year, I saw Mountain Dew. What was it? For Christmas, gingerbread.
Oh, the gingerbread. It was good. That was good.
I didn't try it. I
Actually,
wanted to try it, but I was too scared.
I do that on my streams a lot. Like I'll actually have like a reaction to me. The funniest Mountain Dew I've ever had was flaming hot Mountain Dew.
Oh
Have you
no,
ever have
thanks.
you have you heard of that?
I've heard about it, but I'm out.
It's interesting because basically it's flaming hot because it's very spicy,
Yeah,
but it's sweet though. So it's not like
that's
you're still
interesting.
burning your throat, but it's a very sweet flavor. And believe me, I was an idiot. I bought like a 12 pack of it. I'm like, I'm not gonna drink this stuff. Where did I get this? So yeah, let's just say I don't think I'm having any children anytime soon.
Yeah, you drink enough of it, right? Was that yellow six or whatever that's in there? That
Yeah.
could probably kill you. So what kind of now being and you've already established how much of a collector you are. I mean, what I can only imagine some of the Halo stuff that you probably have.
Oh, okay. I have a little Halo museum. Sadly, I can't show you from here,
That's okay.
but let's just say if I ever brought a woman home, she'd probably turn around and run up the stairs and just get the hell out of here. She'd step on the gas. She'd call her Uber or Lyft driver, and she'd be like, "Get me the hell out of Jeffrey Dahmer's house right this instant." Because yeah, but like I have,
Oofa.
like let's see what we got. I actually got some goodies. Actually, wait.
Okay.
Okay, actually, speaking about more. Okay, so let's show you here real quick. This is a Halo 4 game fuel.
Oh wow.
This came out actually, when Halo 4 came out.
What flavor is Game Fuel?
It's actually well, Game Fuel is different flavors, but interestingly
Oh,
enough, Halo likes to take over the citrus cherry.
okay.
So, Halo 3 and Halo 4 was like the only games that had Game Fuel. Actually, I didn't know this. So
Okay.
basically, Halo 4 and 3, had Game Fuel.
Hmm.
The other ones just had like sponsors where like their characters were on the
Gotcha.
the Mountain
Yeah.
Dew, but it
Yeah.
wasn't Game Fuel though. But yeah, this is the Halo 4 one, still
Okay.
unopened. This thing's from 2012, I think. So
Okay.
this thing's like 10 years old. So yeah,
Not
so
bad.
it's still unopened, no dents. It's kind of beautiful. And then what else we got real quick next to me? Okay, so actually, I want to show you this is actually very beautiful because I have a little backstory with this one. So this is the first actual like because Halo had some special editions and stuff. So I never actually got any of them back then because back then I really didn't, I
Hmm.
really didn't really know much about it because I was getting into gaming, at least for Halo gaming.
Yeah.
So basically, this is like the only real special edition I got, like the first one at least. So this is the Halo 3 ODST. I know it was a giant glare, but this is the Halo 3 ODST
Oh,
special edition. Very
that's
beautiful. Comes
nice.
with a game and a controller. So let's show you the
Special
back real
edition
quick.
controller. Yep.
So it's kind of beautiful. For me, ODST I think is like one of my favorite games. At least
Okay.
for the campaign. It was supposed to be actually a DLC at one point, but then I think Microsoft was like, "We want to charge $60," and Bungie's like, "We don't. This is not a $60 game." Like, too bad. So they basically made like this 2 disc game where like you get to play ODST, play Firefight, and do the campaign, and then or at least and take pictures in theater mode. And then they
Hmm.
had another disc where it's just Halo 3 again, but I guess improved graphics or lighting
Oh,
or something.
all right.
And then you got the recon armor if you did all the VidMasters, and that's a
There you
different
go.
story. But this is the I think this was
That's a.
actually
I like that.
but but what's funny about this is because the first one I got, I ripped this thing open and threw in the
Of
garbage and
course.
just destroyed this controller. Basically, just got destroyed because the amount of times I've like just beat the hell out of it. So
Yep.
basically, what's funny is I was looking on eBay a couple of years ago, and this guy was selling the controller and the box itself, but not the game. And
Hmm.
every ODST is just a normal ODST game. So
Yeah.
basically, what I did is bought this, and then bought a sealed copy of ODST and just put it in the box. So brand new.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
Boom.
yeah, yeah.
Very cool though.
Might bury, I might put it next to, I might put it in my casket if I ever kick the bucket. So just one little spot right here for me. Start playing the Sid.
All right, that's pretty cool. Um, anything else? I mean, I'm saying you have to show it, but
Yeah,
like anything
yeah.
else of note that
Oh,
you,
okay.
you have?
Yes, I'm thinking. So basically, I have what's really cool is I'm actually gonna be going to a horror show in 2 weeks. I'm going to Monster Mania,
Oh, okay.
and the who's going to be there? Keith David, Keith David's from The Thing. He's
Hmm.
from They Live, but he's also the voice of the Arbiter in Halo. So I'm going to be meeting him.
Cool.
And actually, what's really cool is too bad I can't show you, but I have it like right over my PC actually. But I have like this original sketch artwork of the sketch artwork of Master Chief from the first game. And it's actually
Oh,
signed by the creator. And there's a cool backstory with it where I
that's
guess
cool.
it was in his office, I guess, and there was like flood damage at one
Hmm.
point because of a hurricane or something. So you can actually see the artwork with like the water stains. But
Oh,
what's weird
wow.
is I looked this up actually, and multiple people have this because they got it from a giveaway. But I've looked online and I've noticed that a lot of theirs look like they're just printed copies. And I'm not trying to flex and say mine's the real deal, but it
Yeah.
really looks like mine actually looks like actual paper.
Okay.
Theirs looks like actual like
Yeah, like a
printed
lithograph
copies.
almost.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks a little
Yeah.
different. Like I'm not saying, oh, there's this fake and mine's
No,
the
I
real
get it.
deal, but
Yeah.
I think mine is the real deal. And the funny thing is, I got that at EternalCon like 2 years ago, the thing we just went to a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. I got that at EternalCon from a guy who actually had no clue what it was. He's like, I don't even know what this is. He's charging $85. I got it for $50.
There
So
you go. Wow, that's some good handling.
I'm
Oh,
gonna have
yeah.
Keith David sign that, and also I'm meeting Ron Perlman, Hellboy, but he's
Yep.
also Lord Hood in Halo. I'm gonna have him sign that as well. So that's gonna be like
Awesome.
my one of my favorite Halo pieces, and
Very
I'm just
cool.
gonna be like, I'm gonna like cherish it forever. It really am.
As you should.
As yeah.
So let me ask you this, and let me put you on the spot. I'm going to ask two things. What is your favorite Halo game
Mhm.
and your favorite flavor of Mountain Dew?
Oh, give me high blood pressure thinking this over. But for me, Halo 3 is my favorite Halo game
Okay.
just because the amount of memories I've made on that game and
Mhm.
this just the gaming experience this because you could do so much in that game. You could forge maps, make memories with people. Like I'm gonna say this now for Halo is you meet all these amazing people in this video game. And the sad thing is, friendships don't last forever, or even just people don't play games forever, so they disappear. But you still have the memories though.
Mhm.
And that's why I always loved about Halo 3 is you can make so many great memories on that game.
Awesome.
You can make some good memories and bad memories, but overall you have like the best experience playing with such great people. And what
Mhm.
I also loved about it was the fact that you can list like everything from like the armor system, like the armor, the way you can make your guy look, to just the achievements you have to get certain armor. Because back then it wasn't pay to play, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you want to get these achievements or this armor or something,
Yeah.
just throw $100 down and boom, you get all this.
Seriously.
You can play as John Wick in Fortnite. Back in Halo 3 days, you actually had to have skill to actually unlock armor, which was for me.
Yep.
Back when Halo 3 dropped, I was a complete noob. I'm probably still a noob again today too. I'll be honest with you. But back then, like I remember this, there's this thing called the katana that you can just, your character can wear a katana
Mhm.
on the back of its character. And it was just like back then that was considered a flex because like, oh, you got the katana. That means you got, like all the achievements on Halo 3. And getting all those achievements on Halo 3 was,
You've
stressful as
unlocked you
anything.
platinum out.
Yeah, I did. Back
Oh,
then I
that's
did.
awesome.
But it took me forever though, because like there was like tedious achievements though,
Mhm.
like one was like get 10 kills without dying in lone
Ooh.
wolves, and that's when you're playing every man for yourself. So you're basically every man for yourself and you have to get 10 kills without dying. That took me forever. And then like one was the most another tedious one was play the last mission of Halo 3 on legendary with all skulls on or just one skull on. And I think it was like basically the skull was you get killed, it will revert you back to the last checkpoint like right
Mhm.
away. Even if anyone
Okay.
else is still alive, it's like you have to basically make it there and back
Mhm.
without dying because or it'll restart the checkpoint. And believe me, when we did this, it took us weeks. It took us weeks to get that thing done, to get the right people. And at one point you have to like do the last because there's I don't know if you guys know this, but at the last mission of Halo 3, it's a big driving sequence where you're just driving in a vehicle, going up in ramps and going down, getting shot at, running things over. It's insane. And it's why I loved Halo 3 so much because that was like such a great experience was that
Awesome.
last mission. And believe me, we had to do those at times with this vehicle called the Ghost, where you're kind of just like gliding around, and it's really stressful because you have to have four people sticking together like little marshmallows,
Oh,
just
good
kind of
Lord.
drive around. It's like something from Top Gun. So believe me, yeah. Let's just say if I have any gray hairs from that experience, I think my whole head would be gray
Fair. Yeah,
back then.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then I'll put you on the spot with the Mountain Dew. I'll tell you mine. Code
Oh,
Red. Code Red rules.
Code Red is good. I love Code Red, but my favorite flavor is Baja Blast.
Okay.
From Taco Bell. It's
Yep.
still
Yep.
my favorite flavor back then, still my favorite flavor today. And it kind of sucks though because Baja Blast is actually in like the stores right now, Walmart, which is I need to go get it.
Oh.
But I usually get Baja Blast from like the Taco Bell
Mhm.
by my house. But for some weird reason, that soda machine is like cursed because either it doesn't release like I'm gonna sound like a super Karen because I want to go up to the counter and start complaining. Like I didn't have my full Baja Blast experience. You monsters! How do you live with yourself? It's like
Manager. Manager.
yeah, my hair starts changing. It's a Karen. Like I'm like the wolf man. I start like my nails start coming out and crap
Like
like
a
that.
wolf man.
Yeah, but literally like the machine will have like multiple issues where like one where it's just like syrup coming out of it, so it's over
Oh,
the
okay.
top.
Yeah. Yeah.
The soda's like over the top sweet where
Yep.
it's not supposed to be doing that. And then there's some times where it's not even like this, like the sodium part
Yep. Yep.
doesn't mix in with it. So I'm basically drinking like straight up Baja
Sodium.
Blast.
I mean the soda part.
Soda. What's this? What's the little chemical thing that kind of gives it the fizz? Like the
Is
not
that
sodium.
it's no, it's carbon,
Oh,
it's carbon dioxide.
yeah, carbon dioxide.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I was trying to say. But I'm saying
I was
that
like, sodium. What the hell are you putting in Baja
well,
Blast?
gives it a little extra flavor, and that's what it does. But uh, but yeah, it was just taste disgustingly flat, and
Mm,
I
yeah,
die a
it's no
little bit.
good.
I die a little bit on the inside just
Nah.
knowing that I can't get the full Baja Blast experience.
Well,
First world
with
problems.
and you know what? We're going to continue with first world issues, but not even bad issues, good issues. Because when you were showing off your the controller there, it goes to show you talking about special editions and Xbox of probably all the systems ever. Xbox seemed to have been the one that had a lot of special editions. It's one thing where like I've bought the original system and then they do it like a slim version. And then I'll end up buying that one. And then they'll make even a smaller version. I'll end up buying that one probably. But the number of Xboxes that have come out is ridiculous. And we're just going to show off some fun ones. Not only Xbox, a couple other systems as well. I even have a few myself that I would consider special editions. And what we're talking about here are, as far as I know, and if any snuck in, which they probably will,
They
we're
will.
trying to go with like officially licensed versions, not just someone repainting a system.
When you get off the streets of Mexico, like I got this Xbox,
Yeah,
man.
basically.
Looks legit.
It's hot. Look out.
Pay two
So
dollars for that.
so let's see how I can do this. I'm going to share the screen. I'm probably going
Ooh,
to screw this up. Yeah, no,
I'm
honestly, this never
excited.
works.
I'm
Even when
excited.
I get to do it with Anthony. Oh, can I do it like that? That's gonna. Okay, I guess I can do it like this. And here we go.
Ooh.
So right off the bat,
Oh,
yes, because I really didn't set this up properly.
oh. I need this in my
So
life. I need this in my life. I really do.
this special edition, limited edition rookie card, Mountain Dew Xbox.
It's
And
beautiful.
OG Mountain Dew, that radioactive green. All right. I know people are going to see like, hey, what is the dip switches doing there in the bottom corner?
It looks very familiar. Just it look. I don't know. I don't see the connection, but
What?
I guess it looks familiar a little bit. I guess
It's got. I'm sure that's called Mountain Dew green. I'm. I can almost bet it's called Mountain Dew green.
Unless you're colorblind, then that's a
That's
different
true.
issue. Yeah.
So gorgeous Xbox here. Like I said, just one that pops. And then there was another one I saw, which I don't know if someone has just repainted it,
Mhm.
but I did see this Code Red version.
That looks like a repainted one.
And you know what? I think so. You're right. So I apologize in
No,
advance,
that's cool.
especially
That's cool though. That's like
it's
something
cool
I
in
would.
color. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's like
Um,
something I wouldn't mind playing on.
but the Mountain Dew, I just love that green one.
Oh, it is. I remember
And
very few people actually got a hold of those when they came out. I remember a few people do, and someone is actually selling it online as we speak for like $400, which
uh
isn't even that bad.
it's ridiculous. I know, not at
Yeah.
all. Not at all. Now forget I don't remember what orders I put these in, so let's see what comes up next. Yes. And we're gonna be jumping around a little
Woo.
bit. The Star Wars Xbox 360. And what was cool about this one, you had like a R2D2 system, C3PO Chrome controller, right? But what
Mhm.
was cool about this system, and some of the other ones did it as well, but this had actually startup noises and Star Wars noises. So when it booted up, I'm not going to get the sounds correct, but it made like maybe like an R2D2 noise when it booted up,
Mhm.
and then made like when like when like the TIE fighters like flew by, whatever that noise
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
When you open up the disk drive, it made that noise as well, or a Star Wars noise. So I always thought this was a pretty cool one. I'm not huge into Star Wars, but I always thought this was pretty
That
cool.
is beautiful. That's like I wish if like Kenny Baker was still alive, or even just have C3PO sign that. That'd be beautiful.
And even look at like to the like the
And the
wires, like
controller. That's actually really cool because they made it like because you know how 3PO was in like
exactly.
Phantom Menace where he was kind of like wiry looking, but then
Yep.
he came all gold in the
Yep.
later ones. That's
So
beautiful.
that was pretty cool. Up now. Okay, so we were talking about Halo, right? Of course. Each generation of Xbox actually had their version of a Halo system. And just to go through them, first of all, this was the original Xbox Halo Special Edition.
Oof.
This
Oh,
this clear, almost
I
I would
want it
say
so
jade.
badly.
Yeah, no, this clear green. And even on the old Duke controller, well, that one wasn't a Duke controller, but on the controller, it says Halo
Yeah.
right there on it. I love the see-through. I mean, that's very 90s. See-through was the
The
90s.
boxes, I have to say that if you ever look at the Halo boxes that come,
Hmm.
the Xboxes, very beautifully detailed. Like, funny thing is, I went to a gaming shop in Florida actually, and they had the box on display. And you know how badly I wanted that box? I said to them like multiple times, or is this for sale? They're like, no, it's just for display. I'm like, would you ever sell it? And they were just getting annoyed at me, but it was beautiful. Take a moment, like if you can, for anyone watching this, look at the Halo Xboxes, the boxes to the
Okay.
Xbox. They were like, they went over the top back then. They really cared about you. Like now it's just kind of like, whatever. But you look at these old boxes from Halo back then, beautiful. It's a
Awesome.
work of art.
So then we moved on to the Xbox 360.
Oh, uh-oh. I have a lot of bad memories with this one.
Do you really? Why? Did Red Ring of
Well,
Death?
well, a funny thing enough, I never had this
Okay.
Xbox. I had
This is a
this
Halo
normal
3
this,
version
but
of the
everyone who had this version told me that they got the Red Ring of Death with this thing. This thing was so known for just getting the Red Ring of Death. Like out of all the Xbox 360s back then that got Red Ring, this one like hit the most for Red Ring of Death.
360.
This one was like the biggest target for Red Ring. So it's like some people I think recently someone made a post actually like recently just like this year that he still played on the he played the Halo 3 360 and just got
Mhm.
the Red Ring recently. And we're like everyone's like in the comments like rest in peace fallen soldier. He's playing the
So
salute.
funny story that we mentioned on the again long ago, but for new people and for yourself, I um again talk about how like I would always have like the original system, and then I'd always end up buying like the new slimmer model. I would have the not this special edition, but I had an original Xbox 360, and I was getting ready to purchase when they started slimming it down. So I sold my Xbox 3, which I had for like a couple years. I sold my Xbox 360 to Anthony. Anthony bought it off of me. 2 weeks later, got the Red Ring of Death.
No, that
I'm like, sorry, sales are final.
I'm just home alone and try to sneak that thing back.
Do you know what one of the quick fixes were
What?
for the Red Ring of Death? You throw a towel over it and just
Yes,
let the system run because
I
it was
heard
just a
about that.
soldering issue.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you basically overheat the system and it kind of soldered itself. I don't
I
know
don't know.
how true that
That
is,
sounds
but
that sounds
I
like a
know.
that sounds like he's gonna blow up. But I went next was like put in the microwave or something. Like, okay, the internet
No,
told me to.
we'll
Okay,
get
I'll
we'll
do it.
get we'll get to the Game Boys later.
Yeah.
All right, up next after the 360 would be the Xbox One. Look
Ooh,
at this gorgeous.
This was Halo 5's this was Halo 5's Xbox One. Because if you notice, the color is different because one
Hmm.
side was one character and one side was the other. The left side was supposed to be Locke's character, who's a Spartan that's after Master Chief. And I guess on the right, it was supposed to be Chief, because in the cover of Halo 5, they're kind of like looking at each other. Like, they're both their heads are like left and right staring at each other. And there's like a little group of people down at the bottom. But Halo 5 was probably one of the most weakest out of the whole Halo
Really?
franchise. Yeah,
Okay.
it was very weak. I mean, the campaign was like, for me, I love the customs and I love the everything else about it, but
Puny.
the campaign was pretty weak though. Pretty weak.
Puny Halo 5. But that's still gorgeous. I love the split
Yeah,
though. Yeah, that split I
promotion
love is gorgeous.
promotions for I'm gonna say it's not the OG Halo promotions were insane. Halo 5 had a decent promotion, but if you ever take a moment to look at the older,
I
like
remember. I do
3 to
remember a lot of them,
C2
yeah.
promotions, they're insanity. It really is.
And then this one which I don't remember, but this is gorgeous looking. The Xbox Series X.
Oh wow, I'm sorry. I actually got to show you this one real quick.
Oh,
Actually, I'll show it to
okay.
you. Okay, it's
No, no,
like
yeah.
the only thing I have, but haha. So let's show you real quick, but I still have it in the box because no reason. Don't say, Anthony, why do you still have it in the box? Well, the thing is, I need to get a second monitor so I could hook it up. But here it is in box. So
Oh, you have one. Look at
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Holy cow.
yeah, Infinite Edition, very very beautiful. I know you
That
can't.
is, bro, break it out, man. What are you doing?
I need to. The thing is, I'm in my room right now and I want to stream a lot, so I need to get another monitor to hook this thing up to. I don't
Fair
have
enough.
enough. But basically,
Amazon sells a really good cheap monitor.
I'll try to show the back real quick before I,
Look at this. We have it in person
I know, right?
as he's about to drop it.
Yeah, you're gonna hear a giant crash in
Good
a second.
Lord.
You hear me cursing in the background.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this now. Infinite had a very mixed reaction, the game itself, but overall, the promotion for Infinite was pretty insane. I'll say so myself. Like the merch that came out with that game.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'll tell you this quick story real quick.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, when Infinite got put on delay because of COVID,
Hmm.
but they're still coming out with like all the little items, for the game, from like food related items to like action figures. But I heard about a Halo monster was going to be coming, like Master Chief on the Monster energy drinks, and I'm like,
Oh,
I need to
really?
get this. So
I think I remember that.
I went to 11 7-Elevens in my area to find that and live streamed it. And the funny thing is, I streamed for like over an hour and I lost the footage, which
Yeah.
doesn't matter because
Oh,
we were just kind of going in and out. I was just
yeah,
me and my
yeah.
ex at the time, and we just going in and out, yada yada yada. But it was like the last moment, the last 7-Eleven we went to, it was there, and I got like 7 of them. And the guy behind the counter at 7-Eleven is like looking at me like I'm like this like he thinks I'm like a monster addict. He thinks I need to like go to AA or something. He's like, buddy, you okay? I'm like,
Drink one at a
no.
time, please.
Like, no, it's for collector purposes. I don't even drink energy drinks, but just like seeing Chief on that got me so excited because I knew I couldn't experience that when Halo 3 was out with the Halo 3 game fuel.
I
So I got to experience it now all these years later. So I was
you
so
always
happy.
have to buy two of them, one to open and then one to keep closed.
And once to throw at somebody if they,
Oh,
annoy you.
that too. That's why I have someone got me two bottles from the show Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, nice.
Got me two bottles of the was it Lickerman's dirty Canadian whiskey that they used to have on the show that they drink all the time. They actually produce it up in Canada. And a friend of mine got me two, one to open. He knew one to open, to drink, and then one to keep closed.
It's a good idea.
So there you go.
Did Mr. Leahy approve of that one?
I think so. I
He
think
better. Rest in peace, Mr. Leahy.
Yeah, oh my gosh,
He was the best.
absolutely.
He was my favorite character in the show.
He was awesome.
He was the best.
Lickerman's old dirty Canadian whiskey. All right, let's get back here to let me share the screen again because this you just actually told me about this before we started recording.
Yeah.
And I think this thing's gorgeous.
Let's see.
It's going to be the crystal clear
Oh, yes, that's it.
Xbox. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger.
It's like
Too big.
If rappers had an Xbox, this is what they would have. Just saying.
Very limited edition, original Xbox. I mean, crystal clear. And I think this thing is I would have absolutely bought this in a heartbeat.
It's funny because they have it on. I think they have it on eBay, but I really don't know the pricing because these are for sale, by the way. People, they're very expensive. So if you have the money, feel free to get it.
Don't get me wrong. There's a thing going around nowadays where everyone is someone, I forgot who the company is, but there's probably a couple of them, are putting out crystal clear shell cases, and people are converting their NES, their Super NES, their Genesis, their Dreamcast, all the old systems they're making clear, and they look amazing.
Yeah,
Like I said, very 90s. But this Xbox, gorgeous.
it is
So,
beautiful.
and then there was this one here that
What
we
the?
all can love.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Simpsons movie Xbox 360.
Why do I think I saw this vaguely? Oh my God, look at that
So
thing.
this wasn't even for sale. This was purely only 100 were made, and it was a contest. I remember entering the contest. It was just, like write your name in and
Mm,
whatever. But it was again for the Simpsons movie. There's Homer on the side, kind of half his head looking
mhm.
up, and otherwise it's a Simpsons yellow system. I don't know if it made any special noises, like maybe like a dough every time you open up the tray.
You put the disc in wrong, you just hear Homer. Dope. Yeah.
So I always thought that was very cool as
Oh, when you
well.
put the disc back in, you hear him like, donuts, because it's the disc a circle. But like, if it was up to me, like, if they like this is if it was up to me, if they ever like actually gave this to people, they should have like Spider Pig like give it to them, like kind of like knock on the door. Spider
Well,
Pig
there's a
delivers it.
very famous story, and I want to say it was this console. I want to say it was this console. Now, you know what? Now I'm going to question my story. But long story short, someone had an Xbox with a
Mhm.
ton of autographs on it.
Ooh.
I could have sworn it was this one. And they sent it back to Xbox to get fixed. And when
Uh-huh.
Xbox sent it back, like they almost like cleaned it.
No,
Yeah, and got with
no.
no, it
What?
probably
First
wasn't.
off,
You know what? It probably wasn't The Sims. It was probably a regular Xbox
it probably
360.
was, but even if it was, why would you even play that thing? I would just put that thing in a box. That thing is just for
I
display.
probably would
If it
have
was
played this.
signed by like a bunch of people,
Oh,
that thing's
signed,
for
different ball game. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
If it was
Different ball game on
signed,
that
that's a
one. Yeah,
different
yeah.
ball game. That thing
Yeah.
be in a box, like on display.
100%. 100%.
Yes, just
That's
saying.
what we do
Yeah,
though.
yeah. We're like autograph addicts that have problems that need to,
Totally. Oh my God, forget about it.
we need help. Lots and lots of
So
help. Yeah.
moving on from the Xbox, Xbox again had tons of other ones. Had the Gears of War and some other stuff.
Hmm.
There was this special edition coming up for the PlayStation 2 that was only released in Japan. It was a Final Fantasy
Oh wow.
slim PS2.
Damn,
You
that
can
thing's
see the
skinny.
artwork there. It's very, it's black on black, but you can see the artwork there from Final Fantasy. So I thought that was pretty. I always like the slim PS2. I got one actually as we speak. I use one.
That is
So
really nice, actually.
yeah, yeah.
Very
Not as
spacious.
yeah, not as. I mean, then you had like your various colors and
Hmm.
stuff, which are in itself is what it is. And then moving on from PlayStation, now we start to get to Nintendo, and
Oh, takes me
so
back.
this is a Game Boy Advance, and it's a dual color. It looks like it should be Mountain Dew, but it's not a Mountain Dew version.
Yeah, what's up with the like? Who thought that was a good combination of colors? Like, it'd be a good idea if we mix green and orange together and put it on a Game Boy. Yo, man, that's amazing.
I don't know. I kind of like that combo. I don't
It's
know.
it's giving off Samus a little
It's
bit, a little bit of Samus,
good call. I like it.
just a
Wasn't
little
even
bit.
thinking of that one. I like it. And then had different
Oh,
various Game Boys. Now,
I
yes,
have
we
this.
talked.
I still own this actually to this day. I have this actually.
So this is the Pokemon Game Boy Color. Now we talked a little lot about your love for Halo, your love
Yes.
for Mountain Dew, but I kind of forgot until now your
Yeah.
love for Pokemon.
Like for me, I'm a 90s child, so anything 90s related Pokemon or maybe early 2000s, I always love for Pokemon. Do I still play the games up to this date? I basically do. Not as hard as I used to
What
back
was the
then.
first one that you played?
I played it was probably blue version.
Okay.
And it was funny because they got me all of them. So it was like they threw me like blue version and red version, and then yeah, then my favorite of course was yellow version because that was the easy way to get all the starters. Because
That is true. Yeah.
this Game Boy was basically meant for yellow version. If you haven't noticed, the little Pikachu in the corner, and what was cool about it is the light when you turn it on and off is the Pokeball, which I thought was very
It is.
beautiful.
Yes, very cool.
It
I,
actually,
I was gonna say I don't know if you
yeah.
can see it in the light here. I have my Pokeball.
Oh crap! Oh, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
look at that.
That is really nice.
Right. That's like my only
Yeah.
prize. Not even prize. It's just. It's. I mean, anyone can pick this up. But my only cool Pokemon thing that I own. So.
That is really nice. I think yeah, I think the last real cool thing I did involving Nintendo actually I think was a couple years ago for my birthday. I got this custom modded old school Game Boy, like the first Game Boy, but it was modded
Oh.
where it was built-in lights. Because if you guys don't know this, the first
Yes.
Game Boy did
Okay.
not have actual built-in lights. It was just,
No. No. No.
back then you just had to make sure to have a flashlight if you ever played on that thing. So you would just have to,
Actually, you might be able to see
yeah,
my original game. No,
yeah.
it's blocked by the thing. I have a it's off to the side, but one of my original Game Boys. Actually, I think I have an OG Game Boy somewhere,
Mhm.
but I have a clear Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, and then people recently started modding them. In fact, I do have a modded Game Boy that is the original Game Boy but backlit, which is very, very cool.
It's very cool. It's like a little bit of green mixed in with it, and I got to
A little
actually
bit,
play for the first time with lights. I'm like, wow, this could have helped me like 20 years ago, but okay.
We all had, a lot of us growing up, we always had there was this one, I forgot the name of the company, but it was like this kind of curly Q Game Boy Light that you plugged in, and just like it was constantly trying to move it to focus in on the screen. That's like the only form of light you had, was like this little itty
Yes,
bitty
the little
diode.
light.
Yeah.
But then you can mod your Game Boy out and have all these
Well, that's
attachments and make it look
nowadays. I'm
like
talking originally
no,
though.
but back then they had it though. Back in the 90s, there's this
Well,
weird attach. Do you see that weird attachment thing?
yes, they
That's what
have
I'm talking about.
those.
It's like
Yes,
this weird thing you can attach it to the back of the
it
Game Boy.
mutates it.
It
Yeah,
mutates it. It's like a freaking transformer. It starts like develop. It starts going
it's
to
a
life.
transformer.
Yeah.
Some other Game Boys I
Robot
found
scenes.
while looking through here. This is one Manchester United football club. This was actually released in the UK. It's a red Game Boy with the Manchester United logo on it, which I thought was pretty cool.
I'll be honest with you, too. Were the football players actually playing on a Game Boy? I highly doubt they were, but it's cool they made this stuff. I think they were the ones like making fun of the nerds for playing on the Game Boy, but that's just me.
Look at this one, a Planet
Planet
Hollywood
Hollywood.
Game Boy.
What?
Yeah,
I've been to a few Planet Hollywoods. Oh my
I haven't
god.
been to a Planet Hollywood in decades.
Same. Didn't they have one in
Holy
the
cow.
city though? They did, right?
They definitely did. I
They
doubt
got
they
rid of it
do
though, because I
anymore,
remember I used to go to
but they
Planet
did.
Hollywood for my birthday. I remember this, and it was kind of like, you know, it was kind of like Hard Rock Cafe in a way, because they had like a lot of things with display,
Yeah.
from like actors to musicians, like their stuff that they
Mhm.
owned or something. But I do remember Planet Hollywood.
Do you know what the Hard Rock Cafe in the city used to be, right?
What was it?
WWE New York.
Oh, was it?
Used to be the wrestling thing. Yeah. And I actually had a birthday party there.
Oh wow,
They used to show
awesome.
the pay-per-views there. And me and I got bought a whole bunch of tickets for my friends, and we went to the restaurant to watch WrestleMania 18,
Wow.
which was pretty cool. Yeah.
Actually, fun story I'll tell you real quick. But I'm obsessed with you know, I'm like an old soul when it comes to music, so I like a lot of older music. But I like Dion and the Belmonts. You know, Run Around Sue, The
Mhm.
Wanderer. If you guys know Fallout 4, it's in the trailer, The Wanderer. But I'm a big fan of Dion and the Belmonts. So Dion, he's still alive. He's like in his 80s right now. I went to like the city past Hard Rock Cafe, and magically, because I have him on Instagram, the one time I actually go to actually, you know, I mean, the one time we actually passed the Hard Rock Cafe and don't go inside, he was actually there that day.
Oh, of course, right?
I'm like, oh my god,
Of course.
it's like when you want to meet one of your music icons
Oh,
and he's not there.
always.
So yeah,
Always.
heartbreaking.
This one I forgot to show before when we were talking about Xboxes. This is a Xbox. What is this? This is going to be an Xbox One for those of you Minecraft fans.
Oh wow, look at that thing.
Pretty interesting looking Xbox. You know, very, very Minecraft.
Does the
So
controller blow up on you? By any
probably,
chance?
probably. I think
Just
I'd rather
play-
have it.
just
I'd
play
rather
the
have like
role.
one of the pigs, but as the controller. But that green is worthy.
You start hearing that sound. I don't know if you ever play Minecraft, but the creeper makes
Very
like this
little.
little makes this little sound before it blows up. So you turn
Yep.
the controller on, you're gonna hear like oh throw that thing out the window.
Now this is a I feel like you might have this Nintendo 64. The
I
the
do. I
Pokemon
have
Pikachu,
this. I have this.
which is very cool. The
It
the
makes
power button is a Pokeball.
makes a sound too. Actually, you hear the little Pikachu sound when you turn it on.
The
Yeah.
reset button is his foot. The only annoying thing about it is it's wider than a regular N64 because it had to be to fit Pikachu on it.
Do you blame him? Pikachu's a star. He deserves to be on that N64.
Very cool Pokemon controller. So not too bad. And then not to be outdone by a Pikachu N64, but then Toys R Us put out a special edition gold
Oh wow! Look at that thing.
N64 with
Wow.
gold controllers.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Now it's
Back-
really
No, I'm saying back when Toys R Us had some good stuff. Oh
honestly,
man,
right? Holy cow.
back. Oh, it takes me back.
So the gold control, I never had this system, but I had one of the gold controllers. And what it was, when Nintendo Power, the magazine, for their 100th issue, you were able to order a gold Nintendo Power 100 N64 controller,
Mhm.
which I had ordered. And it's that controller with like underneath the Nintendo logo, there was a sticker that says Nintendo Power 100. And with that, I'm going to actually have a couple here to show you. So what I was talking about, on top of the gold N64 controller for Nintendo Power 100, I got a gold Game Boy Pocket with Nintendo Power 100 sticker on it.
I've never seen this before. Oh my
No,
goodness.
right? This is the very
Oh
first
my
time
god,
we're
this is the
seeing
first time
yes.
I'm seeing this. Holy,
It's
oh,
shocking, right? But
Oh.
this is like one of my prized possessions, of original hardware that I have. So this one I definitely love. But some other ones to show off that I have, again, like special editions. The only reason why I bought this Game Boy Advance SP is because it was fully backlit. Had nothing to do with the fact that it is a SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh no way! I
Yes.
remember that vaguely. At like I think I've seen that at Toys R Us years ago.
Yep, that is what it looks like.
That
But
is a flex.
it is fully does it even have battery power? Even though
Look,
it's still
kids back. Look,
okay, yeah.
kids.
So it's fully backlit.
Wow, look at that thing.
But that's the only reason why I bought it, because of the backlight. I mean, I'm not knocking SpongeBob, don't get me wrong, but it
Look,
was
two things about that Game Boy right there. One, that's considered a flex in elementary school. That's one. And two, can we just take a sad moment to realize that in streaming services, SpongeBob, the best episode of SpongeBob because it's
I
too
heard.
adult themed. Because I guess you
Yeah.
think children are more corrupted nowadays than they were back in the 90s. But the best episode was the panty raid. I don't know if you guys knew this, but like Mr.
Yeah.
Crab, the whole plot is Mr. Crabbeel's old, so he hangs out with SpongeBob and Patrick. The whole time they're just doing kiddie stuff, and then at the end of the episode, Patrick's like, "I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid," and then they go, he ends up going with them. It turns out it was like his mother's house, is Mr. Krabs' mother's house. Like, why'd you tell me this was me mother's house? Why'd you ask? That was a good episode. I don't know why would they can such a classic that descends me so much.
And story for another time, unfortunately. Another Game Boy Advance SP I have, which I really enjoy, was a Nintendo, kind of like an NES version that has this pretty cool layout. Kind of like the controller.
Did you get it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, because it looks like someone just put a sticker over it.
No. Well, I mean, Nintendo probably did.
Probably did. Yeah, that looks nice though.
Yeah, and then to kind of go with that is I have a Super Nintendo 3DS.
Wow.
So, and then when you open it up, it's all purple and everything. So,
I remember my 3DS broke. I remember a few years ago, and like corrupted all the files. But then I just got a 3DS XL, and it was like the last time I ever did it was when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, and that came out like 2015, 16, I think. But I still have that to this day, and it still works. And back then, that's when you can actually get remember when Nintendo was like getting the older games, so you got to get all the old school Pokemon games on the 3DS.
That's where I bought for the first time ever. I bought Blue. Yeah.
Blue version, Blue version was coming out. I think Crystal version as well. I remember
Blue, Crystal, Red, Yellow, and a couple other ones. Yeah.
I remember going to GameStop actually and just picking up the code to put in the game. I'm like, oh my god,
oh yeah,
is this the 90s now? Because I went to the GameStop to get this 90s game that I probably have like somewhere in the attic somewhere, but whatever.
And then the final thing to show here, as far as custom systems, and we'll start to wrap this all up today, is and this I had. And this is one of my few regrets where, selling back a system. Actually sold, it's a PSP. And I sold back my PS. I don't know why I did, but I did. But nevertheless, this is a red PSP, which pops in itself. Very cool. But what was really cool about this is that on the back of it is Kratos from God of War. It was a God of War PSP. And I'm pretty sure it might have came with one of the God of War PSP games. I might be wrong on that. But nevertheless, that red just popped.
Yeah, this was before God of War took off so big as it is right now. It was big. God of War was big. I'm not saying.
I'm going to say it right now.
The newest God of War in PS4, that thing blew it up, and then Ragnarok came out. Yep. You didn't realize, well, did you get into any of the God of War games at all?
The first three, like all up until. Actually, up until like the remake. Well, I don't want to call it a remake, but when like God of War came out with him and his son, before that I was in. I really haven't been in on the new ones.
Well, the newest one that dropped, Ragnarok,
which I own.
The guy I met at Eternal Con, Ryan Hurst, he was in Walking Dead. Remember the Titans? That guy. Did you see him at all? He was online.
I saw him.
Well, you probably saw him, but he's actually the one who voiced Thor in the newest game. So he was actually in God of War. I had no clue until I saw his little picture at the table. I'm like, I didn't want to say out loud, "You're this guy." Just didn't want to freak him out. So yeah.
So no, my God of War is definitely the PS2 versions and the PS3 version, and the PSP versions I thought were phenomenal. So that's definitely. Actually, I want to go back and start playing some of those. Now I think about it. So that's basically it. Had some really cool special editions, and I love the fact that you have that Halo Xbox Series X. That's awesome. So
the things, I hope to open it up someday. I really do.
You should play it because the Series X is phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It really is. And the problem is a little small rant, Infinite. Ironically, the thing I just showed you in that box I stream it on PC, but my PC does not like Infinite for some weird reason. I don't know if it's my PC just being stupid, but let's just say I'll be multiple streams where I'm just like in the middle of a match. So let me get my controller and pretend I'm playing. I'm like, yeah, guys, let's go, and then the whole thing, not just the game, but everything shuts off. So like my PC will shut
Oh,
off. So I'm
jeez.
just basically just picture me in this utter darkness, just like in darkness, just taking a moment. But you ever just have that moment of reality where just like, what am I
Gosh.
doing with my life? It was one of those moments where just
Oh
like
my God, do I ever? So,
look at disgust. Yeah.
so,
So
and with that, I think we'll wrap it up for this episode, this Halo filled, Xbox filled episode. Anthony, I cannot thank you enough for being on the show this week.
thanks for
Especially,
having me. I
especially makes
appreciate
it
it.
easy because I can call you Anthony, and it doesn't change anything compared to
Yeah.
when Anthony is here. So if people are listening,
Yeah.
they don't get that confused.
Just call me Anthony off Wish if you have to, in case
No,
for legal purposes. Like the other Anthony comes like, who the hell's
Poshmark,
who's this guy? Like,
Poshmark.
yeah.
And once again, where can everyone find you?
Like can I have a little monologue before I go?
Absolutely, do it, my friend.
Okay, it's just I want to let everyone here know, like I said, my name is Lovable Halo Addiction, and my goal really was since day one of making Lovable Halo Addiction was basically bringing back old memories of Halo. For me, when I first started making content on Lovable Halo Addiction, my Instagram, I was just, making content just for me because I enjoy making Halo photography, just like memes, just anything that just comes to Halo. But then a part of me wanted to stop, but then I was actually getting messages from people who just said that like what I was doing was meaning a lot to them. That like people were actually telling me that like they would actually look forward to the content I make, and it said it helped them through a lot of tough times. And I realized like, wow, I'm doing more than just making content. I'm helping out a lot of people. So that's why I force myself or push myself. I'll say push because force sounds like stupid. I push myself to make daily Halo content just for the people who need like a better day. I try. That's why I stream on Twitch. I try to just be there for the Halo community, just not even just the Halo community, just for the community of gamers that just want a better day, just to forget about what's going on in the outside world. That's my real goal in life, and it always will be that way. And hopefully one day I can make some YouTube content. I can update my Twitch setup and just make and actually maybe work on my machinimas. If you guys don't know what a machinima is, it's basically in-game movies or TV shows that you can film and script yourself. I used to make them back in the day, but due to my newest update of my setup, I can't do it at the moment. So maybe in the future, I hope to make a movie. That's my dream. I've been wanting to make a Halo movie for the longest time, and it won't even be Halo related. It would just have Halo in it. So fingers crossed. Maybe like 2 years from now, we can have a movie, and I can look back on this podcast and I'll be like, I did it. So never
Absolutely.
know.
We'll
But
be
like I
there with you
said,
all the way.
yeah, like I said, you can find Lovable Halo Addiction on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. And you can also find me on iFunny as well. Actually, fun thing to say. I post my content there. I don't read the comments because they're very very rude people.
Oh, I'm sure. I've been
Very
there, done that. Holy
yeah.
cow.
I don't even read the comments anymore. I just pretend
All you can do is laugh.
I pretend I can't see or something.
There you go.
I go like this the whole time when I'm viewing the comments. So. But also what I have to say is you can also find me on I Want It Autograph, which is my newest Instagram/Facebook. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I hope to start filming actual content on that as well. Like actual content, like some vlogs involving meeting the actors, showing off my autograph collectibles, just anything just to kind of bring to life like these old movies that like autographs, just things I've found on my travels. Because I found some pretty great autographs, and I think they deserve some limelight if you're an avid autograph collector like I am myself. But all I have to say is in closing, hold on. I have to where to go. Okay. I just have to say, guys, thank you for being a part, having me here though. I appreciate it though, Larry, for just, having me here. It
My
means the world.
pleasure.
And before I want to try this on before you end this real quick. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay. Here we go, folks. If you're listening, tune into YouTube now. We have the official fitting. Look at that. My head would never fit in there.
All right. I'm somewhat good. So
And we can still hear
can't
you.
speak that loud, but you can end your podcast now if you want.
Will do.
Yeah.
And folks, you can tell I closed down one of my screens because now I'm red. Folks, you can find us pretty much everywhere. Search Retro Gamers Podcast on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast, on YouTube at Retro Gamers Podcast, same on Facebook, on Twitter at Retro Gamers Pod, and you can email us, email at theretrogamers.com. Anthony, again, thank you very much for being on the show. Thumbs
I
up.
can't hear.
And folks, we'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.